Experience action. Let's stop just talking about customer experience, employee experience, and the experience of leaders. Let's turn ideas into action. Your host, Jeannie Walters, is an award-winning customer experience expert, international keynote speaker, and founder of Experience Investigators, a strategic consulting firm helping companies increase sales and customer retention through elevated customer experiences. Ready, set, action.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello. I'm Jeannie Walters. You're out there listening, and I'm cheering you on. As always, we have an incredibly thoughtful and thought-provoking question, so let's get right to it.
Hi, Jeannie. I'm new to the idea of customer experience, and while I think it's great, I can't seem to get others at my software startup to really get it. I do what I can by bringing up the customer whenever I can, but I don't really know how to get others to care about it. Any ideas you can share? Thank you.
Oh, yay! We have a new customer experience champion in the world. And this is what happens when people start connecting the dots between why this is so important, what they can do about it, and the results that they can achieve.
Yay!
So, first of all, I want to congratulate the person who sent in this question just for being that customer advocate in that organization. It's not an easy role, and you've heard me talk about the CX change agent. Now, I think that anybody listening to this podcast is most likely a CX change agent. And the fact that now we have somebody who is probably just discovering the power of customer experience and they're reaching out, that means a lot to me. I think that's really good for both the organization that he's working with and the world. You're already doing a great job, listener, because you are bringing up the customer wherever you can. But I understand that it can be really frustrating when others don't seem to care as much as you do, and they don't yet understand the power of customer experience and investing in it to get the returns for the business.
It's a powerful thing.
So here are some ideas that you can take to get others on board with customer experience. And for those of you who are just listening to this episode, I would love to hear your ideas too. Now, don't forget, these questions all come from people like you at speakpipe.com/experienceaction. And we also hear from you about feedback there as well. So don't be shy. Go ahead and leave us your questions and let us know what you do to get others on board with customer experience.
We want to know everything.
But for now, here are a few of my ideas. First, start with the why. It's really easy to create customer experience management within an organization that feels kind of academic, that can feel very process-driven. And what we want to do is make sure we are very much focused on the purpose of all of this. Now, those of you who have listened for a while know that the tool that I love to use for this is a customer experience mission statement.
I love it.
But sometimes you're not quite there, right? So if you are in this early phase and you are explaining to others, you're trying to get others on board, explain why this matters so much. And this is where we need to talk about it as, yes, it sounds great. Everybody wants to be nice to customers, but this is really about the business. This is about our success as a group. And so the more we can focus on that, the more we can get people to understand that if we do this well, every single person wins.
I won? You won?
Hey, do you want your job to be easier, salesperson? Guess what? Customer experience can help you do that. Hey, would you like operations to be more efficient and cost-effective? COO? Hey, guess what? We can do that too. This all goes together. And so the more that we can really focus on the fact that this is not about just collecting feedback on happy customers. This is about leveraging that feedback to make sure that we are staying ahead of the competition, that we are improving retention and referrals, and that all leads to increased revenue, reduced costs, and competitive advantages.
That is awesome.
So when you explain the why, be passionate about it and talk about the results that you can get for your organization, not just about customer feedback or being nice to customers because it's the right thing to do. We have to get into what this will actually do for the success of the organization, and then getting back to that idea of purpose. What's the purpose of your organization? You can't just say it's there to make money. It's there because you're trying to solve a problem or help people achieve a certain thing or feel a certain way. Bring that into this discussion. If we are not intentional and proactive about the customer experiences that we design and create, then we're not going to be able to live up to that organizational purpose as well. So tie that all together and start with that why. You also want to involve everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone!
We cannot do this by ourselves. Customer experience is a team sport, and everyone has a role to play. So invite your colleagues to join you in these customer experience initiatives. That means maybe creating an impromptu customer journey mapping session or getting together to discuss what should our customer experience goals be. You can ask for their input, get them engaged, ask for their feedback, especially those that are working directly with customers. Ask about those ideas and plans and listen to their suggestions and concerns. One of the things that can tear down a customer experience program very quickly is the blame game. It's figuring out, wait a minute, if that's going wrong for customers, I'm going to blame marketing. And marketing says, well, I'm going to blame tech. And tech says, well, I'm going to blame sales.
Don't do that.
That does not serve your customer. So by getting people involved early on in this process, by helping them understand the tools that are available, the best practices, and what those outcomes can be, it also leverages a really key part of doing this well, and that is cross-functional support. So get rid of the blame game, make sure everybody has the customer in their sight as you work through problems, as you develop new products, all of those things. And just make sure you're really engaging people and nobody is truly owning the customer like they don't want other people involved. We want as many people involved as we can get.
Teamwork, yeah!
And then the last thing here, it sounds like you're already doing, but I'm going to encourage you to lead by example. The more that you can tie this in those discussions, the more that you can passionately make your case for this. This is the best way to really get people involved and to get that buy-in that we need to move forward. So the best way to get others to care about customer experience is to show them how much you care. Be the role model that they can look up to and learn from. Bring education to them. Provide resources. Bring examples and data from the news and current events that show how important this really is. Demonstrate how you put the customer first, from designing those products to journey mapping to service blueprinting to all of the resources available. And then really look for examples of when things are going well with the customer and how that benefits the organization, and when did things not go so well. That's a really great way to show when there's a disconnect, there can be a lot of negative consequences. Think about not just what you gain by investing in customer experience, but what do you lose if you don't? If you don't invest in customer experience, you are literally leaving money on the table.
You forgot something!
You are saying to customers, we are transactional. We are not investing in this relationship. And when you invest in it, you get all of these incredible rewards. So keep doing what you're doing. You are that change agent. So be consistent, be authentic, and be enthusiastic in your customer experience efforts, and inspire others to follow your lead. Now, of course, these are just a few ideas, but there are other really tangible tools and best practices you can use to make your case, to really continue this conversation.
Come check this out!
A couple quick ideas for you. One is a customer room. That's where you literally set up what is it like to be a customer with our organization, and you walk somebody through that. So they start recognizing, wow, we send a lot of emails, or we leave voicemails that make no sense, or you can't figure out the layout of our retail store, whatever it is. But you actually help people have that hands-on experience with the actual experience that the customers have themselves. Another idea is to actually share things like, you know what, we're going to put up the customer journey in the conference room. We're going to put up the different phases, have a lot of Post-its, a lot of pens, and just ask people to contribute to it when they have the time. So anybody walking into that conference room can do that. They can say, oh, you know what I've been thinking about? Wouldn't it be great if we could do this for our customers? And you have an ideas section on that map so they can add that. Now, that's in the real world, but many of us are working remotely and virtually now. So there are different tools you can use for that as well. Different whiteboards, things like Mural or Miro. Some of the project management software out there can lend itself to this too. But be the leader who sets those things up to get other people involved. So I hope this really helps you succeed and to get other people involved with customer experience. But remember, you're not alone on this journey. You have an entire community of customer experience professionals who are really cheering you on, wanting you to succeed. And I hope you'll check out all the resources we have available at experienceinvestigators.com, because many of those could actually help you take that next step on your journey as well. Of course, you can always turn to our voicemail again and ask more questions, and I'm always happy to answer them. So if you have any questions or advice, I'm here for you. Thank you all so much for everything that you do to provide more for your customers and your organizations. You are the CX change agents that we are rooting for. If you have any questions, please don't forget you can leave me a voicemail at any time, and that might be answered here on the podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast, I would love for you to reach out on whatever platform you're listening to and leave us a review. Let us know what you like. Give us that feedback on what you want to hear more of or less of. And those reviews really help other people find our podcast. So we really appreciate that. Thank you again for all that you do, and I can't wait to talk to you next week. To learn more about our strategic approach to experience, check out free resources at experienceinvestigators.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter, our Year of CX program, and more. And please follow me, Jeannie Walters, on LinkedIn.